Hello there. Welcome back to Tales from Tosche Station. How you guys been? Everyone have a good week so far? Good week? Awesome. That's what I like to hear. So, I'm breaking down Tales of the Underworld. I know it came out like 2 months ago. Been really busy. I can't help it. I do apologize though. But I watched it. It's amazing. Disney, keep these coming. I will say Ventress is probably my favorite character, or one of my favorite characters as of now. And Cad Banes is essentially space Clint Eastwood. That's what his character is. It's the vibe I got from the episodes. So before I break those down, I got something I got to do. Hey Chewy, do me a favor. Punch this thing. Let's get into it. All right. So how I'm gonna break these down is I'm gonna cliff notes both episodes real quick, just kind of give a really brief synopsis of what happens between all three episodes. So the first set episodes, the Ventress episodes, we see Ventress get brought back to life. This is from what I understand. This is the end of the Dark Disciple book, tacked on with some extra chicanery with them bringing her back to life, and we fast forward the the Empire times. She's laying low somewhere. I think it's Tatooine. It might be Lothal. If anyone knows what planet she's on at the start of the first episode, look down and just comment below and tell me because I don't know. It didn't say. So she's kind of playing security for uh for this transport, and she meets this kid, finds out he's a Jedi. Uh, they get into a squabble with some Imperials, take them out. They flee. He tells her that he's trying to find the path, tells him about Quinlan, and that kind of starts everything. They fight an Inquisitor, which is probably one of the best fights I've seen against an Inquisitor up to this point. Is really, really good. And that's kind of where the first episode ends. The second episode starts with them just kind of wanting to find more information about the path. And she finds an old bounty hunter contract on, again, I don't know what planet it was. It didn't say. And they find some. They find this bounty hunter, get the info, and she says, "Okay, I'll help you, but you got to help me steal this piece of Imperial equipment," which they do, and double crossing happens. Blah 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 blah. They get away. Ventress and the kid get away, and then we start episode 3 with them on yet another desert planet. Which one I don't know, and um, they find this old Clone War general, which funny enough is voiced by the same guy that voices and mocaps Eno Cordova in the Jedi Fallen Order games. And the conflict that we see in that episode is that this general has been losing water against these, I'm going to call them like attack Jawas. That's the way that I kind of understood what they were. And essentially it boils down to they're stealing the water back from him as he's stealing their water, and they've been doing this back and forth forever. And Ventress basically tells him once they get back from this mission that there's another way, and tells tells the old man that the kid can translate for him, and essentially starts a new dialogue with these people that they want to essentially come together. And at the end of this episode, the kid gets dropped off at a path ship, and he says, "Quinlan's probably down there. Are you sure you don't want to see him?" She's like, "Yeah, I'm sure. This is your path. You're a good kid. You're a good Jedi. Go be with your people." And she leaves, and he comes back. He comes back, and they run off into the sunset. I think all of this happens after the events of what we see in Bad Batch season 3, but I'm not entirely sure. And it's interesting to me what they've done with Ventress as a character, because she's gone from an assassin in the Clone Wars who was just a pain in the Jedi's butt to honestly a very fleshed out character that I know I'm speaking for a lot of other people that we want to see more of in Star Wars. Well, I personally want to see more of Asaja's story and what she gets up to, because she obviously isn't dead yet. So with that said, I would like to see more of Ventress. I don't know how they would do it. I don't know what they would do, but we need more. And now let's go to the Cad Bane arc. So essentially, these 3 episodes, Cad Bane starts out as a street rat, gets picked up by a bounty hunter, gets trained to become a bounty hunter, goes back to his hometown, kills the marshal, gets arrested, comes back in the 3rd episode, and then kills his best friend, who has become the marshal of the town, and the girlfriend that Cad had at the end of the 2nd episode marries the marshal, and actually she had Cad Bane's kid, which I found to be a very interesting twist. Cad kills his best friend and leaves. That's essentially the long and short of his episode arc. But don't worry, I'll fill the blanks in right now. So I really enjoyed Cad Bane's episodes, or Colby, Colby. The man's name is Colby. I can't get over it. I can't do it, guys. I'm gonna crash out. Why Colby? Of all the names, why that one? Anyways, I'm really liked seeing Cad Bane's evolution and the mirror image of him and his friend. Him and his friend are literally went down 2 completely separate paths, and I find that was very interesting. That Cad Bane becomes an outlaw, probably the most notorious bounty hunter in the galaxy outside of Boba Fett, and his best friend becomes a marshal, cleans up his hometown. At the start of the 3rd episode, their hometown, their city that they're in, is thriving compared to the 1st episode when it was just them 2 as kids running around as street rats, and it was crime ridden, it was filthy, it was pretty dangerous. And by the 3rd episode, it's a thriving community, and it's honestly looks like a really good place to live. And then Cad Bane just comes in and decides to do Cad Bane things and kill people. So yeah, I've really enjoyed the Tales of the Fill in the Word Here series that Disney has been doing. It's been fleshing out a lot of characters that people want to see. and giving more depth to characters like Cad Bane, like Ventress. Um, Honestly, I said it before. I want to see more of Ventress, and painting Cad Bane as essentially Clint Eastwood's character from The Good, Bad, and the Ugly. Um, I mean, I loved it. I really enjoyed Cad Bane's story and and how we see that's how he becomes the hardened criminal that he is. And with Ventress, we see the breakdown of a once hardened Sith assassin to someone that honestly has a heart of gold, if I might say. So, yeah, Disney, keep turning these out. And honestly, if you want to make it a little bit better, just do a series called an ongoing series called Tales of Legends, and give us Legends content in Clone Wars animation. So I'll be waiting for my check, Disney. But that's all I got till next week, guys. Next week, these next couple weeks, I'm gonna do some Andor videos. Next week is gonna be a character breakdown of, well, I'm gonna call it the Kyle Katarn paradox and why he cannot come into canon at this point. And that's because Disney has broken that character down into two separate characters, Cal Kestis and Cassian Andor. What do I mean by that? I'll explain that next week. So until next week, everybody, may the force be with you.